Episode 57 of the Boomtank Business Show. In this name drop episode, I name drop Lewis Howes and his School of Greatness podcast, specifically his podcast episode number 577, where he explains business relationships and partnerships have been a massive key to his success. The episode's title is How to Connect with Influencers, Thought Leaders, and Decision Makers. This is not about chasing influencers or influencer marketing. All of this power connecting, as Judy Robinett talked about in her top business book, How to Be a Power Connector, and in her Boomtank interview recently with me, episode 50, this is all about real relationships and real business. It is how real business has always been done. Solopreneurship as a business model is flawed. There's no such thing as solo success. Yes, you can take many years to fashion things on your own, but relationships, as Judy says, expedite your business and profits. So embrace this proven business concept and start helping and forming those key relationships. Lewis shares with you what he feels is the proper way to do this. So does Judy. And like Judy's advice of don't be a brain picker or tire kicker when networking, it is all priceless. Put key relationship building into your 2018 life and business plan, especially business women who need to do this more. As Lewis says in this episode, it is a key piece to massive success. Let's get started. 2017, copyright Boomtank Media, LLC, fully enforced.
Welcome to the Boomtank Business Show for sharp female entrepreneurs and businesswomen who are ready to shine. A show about more freedom, more income, less worries, and cutting-edge information for you to create and grow your business. From branding to social media, marketing to the latest technologies, we've got you covered. Now, here's your host, Carolyn Cole.
Welcome to the Boomtank Business Show for sharp female entrepreneurs and cool guys who support them. This is a show about building your business and your personal development. Why personal development? Because your personal growth is the biggest key to your business success. I'm your show host, Carolyn Cole, founder and business owner of Boomtank.com. I was a Fortune 100 and Fortune 200 company senior trial attorney. Now I make the case on behalf of your business dreams as an online public speaking PR expert. I help entrepreneurs go pro now with their professional talks, live streams, podcast interviews, and other online appearances. I also do inner game coaching and am a business strategist. Go pro now to differentiate yourself and your business as pro in the crowded online business space. Contact me for expert professional help or to book me as your next business or motivational speaker. Carolyn at Boomtank.com. Remember, visibility is the lifeblood of your business. Get seen, get heard now. Boomtank.com. Let's get right into this episode with Lewis Howes. And the reason I'm bringing you information from a variety of sources, I really want to move the needle for you, especially since we're at the beginning of a new year. As I say, I'm not a big New Year type person in terms of setting big goals January 1. I don't think it works. I advocate doing away with annualized thinking and planning quarterly. Put this in your quarterly arsenal for Q1 of 2018. All of this information is designed to move your needle and get you real results, especially this business relationship piece. Here's what Lewis says to episode 577 for his School of Greatness podcast in the show notes. And I'm going to be adding my personal notes, having listened to the episode, to what he puts in those show notes. Here's how he begins. He's wrapping up this year. He's doing an inventory of what has worked in his life and business in 2017. He feels the need to share the most important keys to success that he has experienced. One of them is partnerships, and he says partnerships have been a massive key to his success. He says his podcast has grown because of key people he has met and had on the show. He says some of those relationships have grown into amazing business opportunities and big win-win moments. He said he wanted to do a solo round, which is this episode, on what he has learned throughout the years about connecting and building powerful relationships with influencers. In case you don't know this about Lewis, Lewis got his start selling a LinkedIn training class. He learned how LinkedIn worked, was making it work, got the attention of some key players who said, how are you doing this? Why don't you help us? And from there, Lewis entered the online training space, showing people how to make LinkedIn work for networking and sales. That's where he started, and he still loves LinkedIn as a platform. He says, I have not heard a lot of people talk about the best ways to do this, meaning building relationships with influencers, but I have seen a lot of what does not work going on. Now, as a side note again, Judy Robinett talks about the best way to do this in her book, How to Be a Power Connector. Lewis is addressing this now because he sees people either not doing it enough or doing it incredibly poorly and damaging themselves, their reputation, and their brand. He says, in this episode, I cut straight to the truth and get real. And you can hear in his voice the disgust with people who use other people, those kinds of using relationships. He's not talking about that. He's not talking about fanboys and fangirls. He's not talking about swarming all over someone just to get something out of them. This is not what he's talking about. This is not chasing influencers. This is building relationships. He said, my intention is to shine the light on what actually does work so that you can create quality relationships. Side note again, Lewis has talked with billionaires, millionaires, and stars at this point on his shows and a whole host of other business people, but he has a broad scope of contact. He continues, here's the truth about building relationships with influencers the right way. Lewis relies on what he calls the 3 C's, and when he's talking about influencers, he's talking about influencers, thought leaders, CEOs, celebrities, decision makers, etc. He says, number 1, chill. His show note reads, let them know what they've done that has inspired you in some way. When I listened to the episode, he explained this by saying, say something thoughtful first. Really stress something they have done that has been important to you and or others. His second C is curiosity. His show note reads, ask thoughtful questions about the things that matter the most to them right now. Looking at my notes, Lewis makes the point there is no harm in asking them how they did what they did or how they got there. Never ask, can you do this for me? Ask thoughtful questions once again. He said this is a relationship versus a transaction. He is annoyed with people approaching him for transaction after transaction when he doesn't even know them and they have a degree of expectation that is unfounded. He thinks it's crazy, actually. His final advice on this curiosity piece that carries over to his third C is be a friend first and give. His show note reads, be of service, give on something specific, find a way to tap into their heart. What he means by that last point, according to my notes, is find out what is most meaningful to them right now in their life and ask questions about that. Form that point of connection, because once you know what is important to their heart, you can be of service. Ask for nothing. He emphasizes this piece again. Nothing. He said he has been a friend to influencers, etc. For a period of 2 years, he has never asked for one thing. He constantly simply supports them and gives to them. And he said sometimes they may never give back. He said it's not about when or where they will ever give back. He says the law of reciprocity ensures your good work will come back to you, somewhere, sometime, somehow. Usually from these people that you've helped, but not necessarily always directly from them. Lewis says, do not ask advice. And as Judy Robinett says, don't be a brain picker or a tire kicker during networking. It's rude. Then Lewis goes on to talk about, after the 3 C's, chill, just relax, ease into the relationship, be curious, ask thoughtful questions, don't talk about yourself, don't ask for anything, and care. Be of service to them. Right? Find a way to tap into their heart, find out what's important to them, and that will tell you how you can best serve them. Build that relationship. Now we go into how to email someone, and yes, he still relies on email. Number 1, he says, research them. Be a detective. Go look at their videos, go look at their TED Talks, go look at their blog posts, check out their social media accounts. Know who they are so when you write them, it's personalized. This is no different than letter writing for centuries, where people knew something about somebody and wrote them a letter directly talking about something important to them, right? This is not a cold contact. You want to research them first, number 1, to make sure you are a fit with them, and number 2, to learn more about them. It's respectful. Point number 2, find 3 points of connection. And this is where Lewis shares his LinkedIn expertise. This was his formula. He would look at the school, if there was a commonality between the school he went to, their school, maybe a mutual friend's school. He would look at how many people they had in common across all the social media platforms. If he found one person that he knew fairly well in one of those networks, on one of those platforms, he would contact them directly, have a quick chat, and then with the friend's permission, he would write the influencer and say, hey, I know so-and-so, we just had a great chat about you, I'd love to connect with you, something like that. Number 3, point of connection. He said, look at sports, look at hobbies, in addition to schools, look at interests, see what you have in common. And when you send an email or a LinkedIn request, share what you have in common. And that is the basis for the connection. He gives a very simple example of something like this. Lewis is originally from Ohio. When he would want to connect with someone from Ohio, he would say, I'm originally from Ohio. I love connecting with others from Ohio. Are you open to connecting? That type of simple message formed his network. Lewis's last category in this episode is what not to do. This is so key, and he's firm about this, people. Very firm. In the last part of this podcast episode, Lewis addresses what not to do, and this is just as important as knowing what to do. Number 1, don't ask for advice. Number 2, don't ask for a favor. Number 3, don't ask to pick their brain. Number 4, don't ask to work for free. This last part's important because, and we know this, when somebody offers to work for free, if you're going to be training them, they're not there to help you. They are there primarily to help themselves to what it is you know. He is not opposed to people offering to work for free if they have expertise in something that he needs. If you are an expert videographer and you can take that off of his plate, write him. If you are an expert podcast editor, write him. That will take it off his plate and truly help him if you want to do that for free. If you are an expert in any other way that can help him with his work as opposed to benefiting you mostly, email him. Other than that, he said, do not ask to work for free. A few other points in my notes. Lewis said, do not continue any relationship where you're being used, period. That's whether you're an influencer or whether you're someone who's seeking to build your network. That's important. He also talks about the concept of giftology, which is gifting other people brings back more than you ever dreamed. And as a shout out to Lewis, he has written a short book, The Millionaire Morning. You can find more information about it on themillionairemorning.com. It's a compilation of thoughts around how to have that millionaire mindset. You pay for shipping. He's not charging for the book itself. So that's a wrap and a closer look at how to connect with influencers, thought leaders, and decision makers according to Lewis Howes. Please check out his School of Greatness podcast. It is a great show. You can find it on iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. That's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I really hope you build into your 2018 plans key relationship building and networking. It is the key to massive success and expedites that process. Let's connect on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm Carolyn Cole Live on both platforms, and thank you for tuning in to the Boomtank Business Show. I so appreciate you listening, and you know I do. If you like the show, please leave a 5-star rating and some nice comments on iTunes, or subscribe on Stitcher or Google Play, and tell a friend. Join Boomtank's email list at boomtank.com and download my free ebook, The Best Online Tools to Grow Your Business Now, containing over 75 plus hot links to grow your business. Be sure to download your free online public speaking PR Jumpstart with a sample media one-sheet at boomtank.com too. Until next time, free your mind, unleash your spirit, build your life, create your business. It really is your show. See you right here on the next episode.
Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Boomtank Business Show. Go to boomtank.com and get our exclusive tips and ideas to help you achieve success. It is time for you to launch your dream business and life now.